Hey, what is going on, you guys? AK40 Kevin here in the Gamer Heaven, and the user reviews, I guess you could call them real reviews in comparison to what we've been getting from The Last of Us 2, which were just from major manufacturers that were either bought off, bribed, or told, well, you have an embargo going on, you can't talk about. Basically, it's not half, it's more of like two-thirds of the story of Last of Us, so that's why these reviews came out so early, because they only had to play through about 6 to 8 hours of the campaign, and how can you honestly give a real review of a game from playing a third of it? Not to mention, a lot of the reviews, such as Skill Up, were pretty negative, but they made damn sure they silenced that real damn quick. Basically, if you had any kind of opinion about the game that was not positive, you mentioned anything about the game, any room of improvement, anything at all, not just about the story, which we already know people were outraged about, that we knew that before the game was even released, because of the leaks. People were like, oh, hell no, not picking it up now. Yes, I did pre-order the game. I don't agree with a lot of the things Naughty Dog does, but I do believe the game is still going to be fun to play through. I mean, graphically, it looks good. You can't get much better as far as like fluid gameplay and stuff, as it is a very late launch title in the life cycle of the PS4. You know, PS4 is pretty much dead, and Xbox One, they have one foot out the door. They're leaving this Christmas, so yeah, I mean, it looks like a damn good game. I have it digital only. I've launched it to make sure it works and set up all my settings and shit. I'm going to be Twitch streaming it, as well as doing a couple playthroughs so I can fully comprehend what it is that I'm fucking, and then go ahead and do a comprehensive review for you guys, a real review, not just some. I'm not just going to talk negative. I'm not just going to talk positive. I'm going to give you the authentic, nitty-gritty review so you guys know if you want to pick it up, or if it's something you should pass on, or if it's something you might want to wait until it gets a little bit cheaper and buy pre-owned. Anyway, enough jaw-jacking and lip-smacking. If I share my screen here, you can see over here on Metacritic, the industry scores here from major companies like IGN and GameSpot and stuff like that, 95, so absolutely solid. Remember, the game got a ton of perfect reviews, which I just made a video a couple days ago about like how hard it is to get a perfect review, and these are just getting given out like candy. It makes you scratch your head and wonder, why? And there was over 100. I'm sorry, not 100. There was over 1,000 claims to YouTubers and Twitch streamers that were saying anything negative about games, that were threatening to drop their channels, and basically just saying like, take this video down immediately because you're saying negative shit about our content, our game, and we're just not going to have it. And I don't agree with that. So that was from Naughty Dog, Sony Entertainment, and their partner, I guess, Muso TNT Limited, which is basically just their whole job is to enforce a lot of internet publicity and basically be a PR rep that'll get nitty gritty and just butt fuck a bunch of poor YouTubers out of their career if they say anything negative about the game. But anyway, user scores here 3.5. That is out of 10, not 5. And that is based on 30,568 ratings. Now, take these with a grain of sperm, because you got to understand a lot of these people probably are doing what's called review bombing. It's been going on for years with movies on things like Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic, where basically a whole group of people get together and boycott a film either before it's come out or after it's come out and just ransack the ratings. And that's why I always say, don't believe the hype, don't listen to anything that anyone else has to say. Be a leader, not a follower. Be a sheep, not a wolf. Don't just be like, be a wolf, not a sheep. Don't just be like, oh yeah, this is what everyone else is saying, so I'm gonna agree with it. And there's a lot of that going on both sides of the fence. The PS4 fanboys are like, this is the best fucking game ever. If you don't buy it, if you don't say it's the greatest game in the world, death to you, Hitler. And then people on the other side are like, okay, this game blows a fat meat. And honestly, I'm probably right there in the middle. I think it probably gobbles a little bit. I don't know if it swallows yet. I'm not sure. I haven't played through it. But I'm sure it has room for improvement, and that's why these professional reviews from these major companies were complete BS. They weren't saying anything negative at all. Like, hey, there was a couple bugs here and there, or okay, this particular aspect, maybe the crafting system or maybe the weapon modding system could have been a little bit more fluid, or this particular enemy seemed like more of a nuisance than a good addition to the game or whatever. But none of that. They were just like, oh my god, it tickles you where the sun shines. Like, oh, come on, dude, give me a real review. And yeah, you can't really consider that all these are real reviews either, because some people are review bombing because they just don't like the game because of how stinky of a stinkhole of a cesspool of emotion it is over there at Naughty Dog with, their 70% of their senior dev team quitting, and then people getting hospitalized for working ridiculous hours, and then basically them trying to silence anyone with a different opinion, people being labeled as toxic males and being labeled as sexist and racist and shit like that just because they don't agree with certain aspects of the game, threatening to shut down a ton of YouTubers and Twitchers just because they had an opinion about their game. I mean, it's crazy. It's wild, boys. But anyway, there are reviews here now if you want to read some relatively unbiased reviews. If you read through a lot of these, they definitely seem like they are people that bought the game, spent their money on it, played it, and give you specific points like, okay, the game was pretty good, but this is definitely, needs some work, whatever. Some of the people were just like 0 stars, and they're just like, F this game right up the cooter and shit like that. And, you're like, okay, well, this guy probably didn't even open the game or purchase it. He's just writing a review, because you don't need to have owned the game to write a review. I can write one on here right now. I'm not going to, because I'm not going to, unfavorably sway the numbers if they're not already. But, there's your reviews there. Forbes has an article here. I'll have my sources cited. I vet my sources for validity and accuracy and also timeliness to make sure they are still time sensitive, they are still accurate and whatnot. But anyway, Forbes talks about, there could be some review bombing, and then also just a lot of the backlash against gamers back and forth. Rotten Tomatoes doesn't have anything yet for The Last of Us. They have part 1, have nothing for part 2 yet. I don't even know if Rotten Tomatoes is still a thing. Like, I haven't really checked on that in years, but yeah, I just want to make this quick video saying there are user reviews out now, and as I suspected, they're not very good. I already knew that, all these 100% scores, 5 out of 5s, 10 out of 10s, 2 thumbs up, full boner reviews were not, that's not how that works. That's not true. It's not true. So, you got to take everything with a grain of salt, and you also have to be smart enough to just see past the video game industry, or any industry, any entertainment industry, any kind of content, any kind of medium. Yep, that's exactly what it is. Any kind of medium, whether it's, music. There's always music drama going on with rappers beefing and shit. There's video game companies that are getting their employees hospitalized and then getting a lot of hate and then shutting down people's channels because they don't want it to be talked about and stuff like that. It's crazy. And this is, the video game industry, something that's supposed to be fun, that we're supposed to enjoy, and yet there's so much negative energy, just a red aura around it, just so much hatred and confusion and sadness, and much like the story of The Last of Us, which is supposed to be pretty intense and gritty, which is actually part of the reason I'm excited to play it, is because I want to, feel those human emotions. I want to feel something. So I do think the gameplay is going to be pretty good. I don't know much about the story besides the leaks that everyone else already knows about. But yeah, I just want to let you guys know there are user reviews now if you want to read a couple of them. Some of them are probably just review bombing. Other ones are pretty accurate, though. Like, they couldn't have faked it. They're mentioning specific parts of the game that they wouldn't really know about unless they had played it, and giving their honest feedback. So if you want to read some real reviews, they are out there. You got to dig through some bullshit to get to them, but yeah. And then obviously my review. You can trust Daddy. He's not going to lie to you. I would never lie to you guys. I love you guys. So yeah, that's going to do it, guys. Have a good day. Peace.